Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years.
Well, that's one way to stop abortion. Hello and welcome to another episode of Idiocracy Report, and happy Veterans Day to all the men and women that have served in the armed forces. My name is Keenan Jerome Floyd, and I love women. And if you love jokes, make sure you come and check me out in Dallas, Texas on December 15th at the Dallas Comedy Club. Doors open at 8:15 and the show starts at 8:30. The ticket link is down in the description below. Kamala supporters are still reeling from the unprecedented win of Donald Trump as the 47th President of the United States. And they're taking drastic measures in protest.
To the men of America, thank you so much, because you have now officially pushed any woman who was ever questioning herself away from you and into my arms. And I am now 100% gay. I wasn't sure before, but now I am positive. So if you're a man, don't look at me, don't touch me, don't speak to me, don't breathe near me, okay? Okay, I'm glad we got...
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years. In protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the handmaid's tale, then us women need to protest, because this is some buttery bullshit.
So let me get this straight. You're going to fight conservatives by becoming more conservative? I've said this before, but it seems like the Democratic political campaign this election cycle focused a lot on sex, whether they were talking about women's reproductive rights, guilting straight liberal men into voting a certain way so that they could continue to have access to women they desire. And now that the other side has won, some women have gone full Emperor Palpatine and invoked Order 69. No sex whatsoever with any man during the next 4 years. The irony of this is most conservative men that voted for Trump aren't going to be affected by this at all, for 3 reasons. Number 1 is that the women that are in their lives, either ones that they're dating or married to, share their same core values. Number 2, those that are not having sex are either probably practicing celibacy or abstinence anyway. And number 3, this is a mandate that most conservatives were pushing anyway as it came to sexual self-control and regulation. Now this movement of abstaining from sex in the form of protest is actually called the 4B movement. What exactly is the 4B movement? It's a radical feminist movement that started around 2019 in South Korea. The B's don't represent 4 female dogs. The B's are 4 Korean words that are translated to the 4 no's in English. So these are the 4 core tenets of the 4B movement. Bihon, it's a Korean word, means no marriage. Bichulansen, no childbirth. South Korea has the lowest birth rate in the world as a result of economic pressures and patriarchal culture. Interestingly, the South Korean government has incentivized an increase in childbirths by offering stipends for new parents, increasing maternal and paternal leave, and childcare subsidies. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Number 3, biyone, which means no romance. And number 4, bisexual, no sexual relationships. So basically, it's a movement that decenters men, or an even more extreme vision of a future without men. So basically, it's culture appropriation of a South Korean feminist movement. Just like the culture appropriation of the word woke. I don't know if a lot of American women know this, but the 4B movement means nothing can be done for the male gaze, or men, biological men, are allowed within this movement. So that means no trans women are allowed, no thirst traps, no OnlyFans, and no dating apps are permitted for those that are participating in the 4B movement. Another thing that some American women have adopted in trying to invoke this 4B movement, American style, is by shaving their heads so they can look more unattractive. Let's see how bald women react to this part of the movement.
All right, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this. Stop grouping bald women with a certain movement. We are not part of it. We are just bald. I thought I made it clear in my video that now went viral. I am a woman who is bald because of a medical condition. I have alopecia. My body decided to attack its hair follicles and have my hair fall out. But I stand proud being a bald woman. I work hard. I fight hard about it. We have a right to be bald, and we have a right to be proud of it. That being said, you are allowed to shave your head. I don't care if women shave their head. I am actually for it, because the more women that are bald, the more normal it becomes. My problem is with it when people say they are shaving their head to become more unattractive. That is so damaging. That is so hard to hear for women who are dealing with hair loss. We don't have a choice in this. We walk around like this. A lot of women wear wigs to hide or to embrace it. Some like to play with wigs. I choose to walk around bald 99% of the time. And yes, I understand why women are doing it. Your rights are not being taken away in America. Stand up for the women who are in Afghanistan. Stand up for the women who are actually being suppressed. Go ahead, do that. Don't say your rights are being taken away just because a Republican is now the president. My goodness. Wise up.
To be honest with you, I don't know how much this is going to change anything. Like I've said before, the people that share the same values are probably going to continue to procreate and raise their children to share the same values as them. Where on the flip side, Americans in general are having less sex than before. We're actually in the middle of a sex recession. 26% of US adults reported that they're not having sex, while 38% of young people between the ages of 18 to 30 have not had sexual partners in the previous year, and, to be honest, a lot of people don't really seem to care. What's the reason for this decline, you may ask? Well, they're saying that technology, slow motion process of growing up, heavy academic schedules, social isolation, and fear of transmission of COVID-19 during the pandemic, which means that during the pandemic, along with the transfer of wealth, there was also transfer of social norms and basic ability to connect with others in real time. New internet mediums for sexual experience, i.e. porn, increase in social media involvement and usage, which all leads to decline in romantic relationships. And a lot of my recent dates can attest to this. No effort is really being put into getting to know other people romantically. And to be honest with you, I really think, again, that nothing is really going to change, because the people that weren't having sex already are going to continue not having sex. And the people that are having sex are probably having sex right now. There was no boycott on sex when people were having relationships with people that were killing other people or selling drugs or having multiple children with multiple women. As a matter of fact, if you've been watching a podcast about dating in the last 5 years, you would see that these are some of the qualities that are actually attractive to some women. So why now? I really feel like that this is a nationwide Travis Kelce leaving Kayla Nicole for Taylor Swift situation. A lot of people on TikTok are taking their frustration out on men, and especially black men, which I don't know the reason why, because 80% of us voted the way that you wanted us to vote in the first place. But these last 4 years, women were doing everything that they thought they needed to do to get in great with Mr. Cartwright. There was the black girlfriend effect. They were saying that they were leaps and bounds professionally and emotionally than black men, and that black men didn't deserve them. They schmoozed with all their white women friends and white male friends so that they could continue to climb the corporate ladder. These women did everything that they thought they were supposed to do. But of course, Mr. Cartwright is going to Mr. Cartwright.
Andrea, it's over.
It's over?
Yeah, it's all over.
No, William. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm not leaving my wife. Got it?
No, wait, you can't do this.
Get your hands off
You
me.
can't.
It's interesting when you play the white supremacy game and you find out that you really don't have a team. Now, you're mad. So, what's the solution?
So you can have your own personal R2D2 C3PO.
What do you think? Please comment below, and if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I would like to welcome my new subscribers. And again, if you're in Dallas, Texas on December 15th, come and see me do stand-up comedy at the Dallas Comedy Club. Ticket link is in the description below. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Idiocracy Report. Take care.